I me too. I feel like.
All right.
I'm grown. I can't be drinking an E&J.
I
can't do that. Lie, baby.
That shit's trash.
I work too hard to drink E&J. Period.
You the Khaled of E&J?
Unless they want to sponsor us.
Man.
Unless they want to sponsor us. Then
I am not nobody.
I'm not drinking or eating shit.
You can sell it, but
no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, no, this sponsor sucks, but the kids love it.
That's it. These crazy kids, they're drinking it.
Who would you guys take in consideration for a liquor sponsor for this podcast?
Anyone.
Yeah.
I want Uncle Nearest. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm with Uncle Nearest as well.
I also think liquor sponsors are just kind of shitty though. Like,
don't say that.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think so. Brought to you by alcohol.
I don't give a shit. Most of our podcasts are brought to you
that's
by alcohol.
What podcasts are those though?
Ours. Nigga, what you mean?
Have you ever like liquor commercials, all that shit? I'd rather, if I had options, liquor would be my last choice.
What's the first choice?
Oh, my first choice would be services that actually like
for a commercial,
like no, for a sponsor. It would be something that people could actually help them, like liquor and cigarettes and like drugs, legal drugs, anything like that. That'd be my last choice. I'd rather.
I'm not doing drugs. I mean, we're not going to be sponsored by
Blue Chew is a big sponsor out here, y'all. Don't sleep.
I heard
Blue Chew, Big Jaw. I see him do a lot of stuff.
I would do weed.
I still don't.
I would do weed. Weed's the only thing I'd do marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, well, what do you think is going to try and sponsor a Molly seller, a Molly distribution?
Here's the thing: the drugs. When I say drugs, I mean drugs. Alcohol's a drug. Just because we drink it a lot, don't mean it's not a drug. Like,
I don't drink alcohol a lot. I'm just buying a fancy drink maker to flex.
Hey, you're missing out. I drink it all the fucking time, and it's a sweet, delicious drug that makes me happy.
I live in a state where marijuana is legal and is delivered to your home. Do you know how easy it is to get good weed now?
They do that in DC.
But it's so easy.
But what if you got to get into a fight? You can't smoke, drink, get real drunk, yell.
I definitely can. I am a functioning stoner. I've always been a functioning stoner though. So.
Liquid courage is the best kind of courage. Like this is how men talk. This is how, like, from talking to a girl. After 2 sips of this, you can talk to anybody. What up, Alicia Keys?
It's a double-edged sword.
That is so annoying. Like when dudes flirt with me and they be like, "What's your name?" Like Alicia. And they be like, "Alicia Keys." I be like, "No." And I love Alicia Keys, but no.
Liquid courage, man. Got me through my 20s.
Too.
I just like to drink.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's
been a long pandemic.
It has been.
It's been a long pandemic, but that outside gonna come.
We're like kicking it outside now, no mask and all that.
I just want free liquor for while I record, Joel. That's what I want.
Okay,
yeah. All right.
I got a quick question. As I stall. What's some things that you guys like the pandemic brought that you don't want coming back? So, i.e., like, I don't like handshaking folks no more. Like, just elbow dap or like fist dap. I don't need you to touch my hand anymore. I'm good.
I miss the black man hug. I miss it.
I dap
up. I miss hugs.
I'll do a hug, but like just
dap up all the time.
I don't, man. Folks don't wash their hands, man.
Before COVID, you weren't supposed to be going outside and not washing your hands when you came home. We just more cognizant of it. You're supposed to wash your hands when you get out. Like, living in Boston. Survival knows, if you ride the train, you should take a fucking bath when you get home from work.
I don't touch anything on the train.
I lived in New York. Oh my God. I would have to sanitize everything about me when I got off the train.
Yes.
Then I just learned how to stand there without holding on. You just have to learn how to balance.
How many times growing up did y'all touch a railing on like a handbar and axle on a train and that shit just felt slightly wet? You like, I gotta cut this fucking hand off. Like,
that's me with my children. I'm like, stop touching shit.
The shit I've seen on that train.
We're in public. Don't touch anything.
I've seen people bring raw fish on the train and just lay them out on seats and just stare at them.
Like a little market?
This dude brought in a bag on the Orange Line of raw fish. It was just
Yo, the Orange Line's wild.
That's fucking nuts.
It's the worst line ever.
It is.
Y'all don't understand. Before I left Boston,
Oh,
The orange
Wally
line-
Sully, what up? Toya, what up? She said she hates getting Latoya Jackson all the time.
Girl,
Yeah, that's whack.
yes,
That's whack. I feel you.
so lame.
Yeah, that is whack.
And Latoya Jackson. We can think of a better Latoya, my
Right.
I think she's the most famous.
She's the most
nigga.
famous.
You are correct,
Maybe.
actually.
I mean, she's still
Most
whack.
famous Toya. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely. I've met other far doper, at least in some respects, Latoya's.
Yeah,
but
same.
Mm.
But let's be
She's
clear.
most
Like,
famous.
yeah, I'm never offended. Like, Alicia Keys is dope. I love Alicia Keys. That's great. But that joke is just so 2000.
It's tired.
2000. Like,
What
it
if
was.
they did it with like? What if they? I would only do that with girls and porn stars. Like, what's up, Naomi? Oh, you mean like Naomi Banks? Like,
I would laugh at that. I would laugh.
this nigga nasty.
Are we live on Facebook, man? What the hell is going on? Why can't I?
Yeah.
Where the link?
I see us.
We here.
Survival.
Oh, here we
That
go.
booze? That beer?
We
My
here.
bad. And then of course I'm in the background being loud.
Yeah, you are. Come on, grumpy grandpa, get it together, man.
Don't be grandpa.
Mighty Squirrel?
Nah, I got this from the beer spot. So
From the
it's
Survivor Scrolls.
the farmhouse ale called
Hey,
Polyamorous Cabal.
Nice.
That's
Is that a
wild.
beer?
That's wild,
Beer.
man.
It's from Bear Wolf Brewing.
Nice.
Let me see
A
the.
lot.
Let me see the can.
Oh, they're out of Amesbury. Okay.
Well, if you're showing all this, they gotta send us some.
Oh, that's hella cute.
It's a bunch of people fucking, I think.
It's a
Yeah.
black owned.
It's called polyamorous, so that's exactly what that is.
Is it black owned?
This one is not black owned.
is it black people fucking?
No, I hope
there's
not.
no, there's some purple people, some orange people.
It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow coalition of fucking.
Yeah.
Alicia, do you drink beer?
No, not
Oh.
at all.
You don't like it?
Beer's whack. Beer's whack. Kiki,
I'll
what
drink
up?
it if it's a sponsor.
I thought so
Kiki,
too.
you are with us. I know you tired of that shit too, right, Kiki?
Alibi, you don't like beer. You don't like.
I'll drink like hard ciders and shit, but I'm not a big fan of beer.
I think women that drink beer, that's how they get those man bods you was talking about. That's how he built like Alibi because they drink beer.
It depends on the beer, dude.
I hope being built by me is only not cool if it's a woman.
Yeah.
Don't
I don't
nobody-
know.
well, I as a woman would never want to be big and brolic. You know, it's just not really.
It's good. I'm still passing for big and brolic. Excellent.
Alicia, you know a lot of girls who drink. Alicia, you know a lot of girls who drink beer. I don't know too many. I know black women who drink beer, but definitely not even close to the amount of white women I know who drink beer. Not even close.
All the black women I know that
girls who drink beer.
Beer is gross.
White women
not
drink
true.
beer. White,
I
unless
used to
they're
think
on
that.
Sex and the City. What?
I said beer is not gross. I used to think that,
Beer's
Beer
a-
is-
but then I discovered craft beer.
Yeah,
that's
craft beer
like
is
where
super
they
fun.
add all the flavors and like science and chemistry and shit. All the other shit that there's actual commercials for, that shit is trash.
It's bad.
Here's the thing.
all the black women I know that drink beer either have gold teeth or like
they
finger
white
waves.
What kind of beer though? We talking
I don't
about
know.
liquor?
All of that shit. They said I've seen a beer bottle in their hand.
Yeah, that's different. Like that. Yeah, that's cool. I think it's also cultural. I think black folks just don't drink like white folks drink. It's just they just go so much harder.
I don't believe
I
that.
do. I do. When I moved to Eden Prairie, the type of shit I was
I
seeing,
think they drink at home.
white folks drink. Parents were getting drunk at graduation parties and stumbling around, bro. We don't do that.
Oh, I don't count that.
We don't do
That's-
that, dog. They was like, yo, the kegs in the basement. I'm like, what the fuck? That's your mom. She's like, I don't care. Come on in.
That's just college shit. I feel like those are
No,
white
no.
college folks.
No, those are mothers. Those are mothers with children in high school.
I moved to Minnesota from LA. I was 14, and I went to Mounds View, so I lived out Shore View with all the white folk. And when I tell you, them kids in the 8th grade was doing more shit than I had ever seen or heard in my whole life. I was like, nigga, I just smoke weed. Y'all out here doing acid and shit. And
I didn't do
getting
anything.
drunk with your mama. Like,
I was trying to survive.
I don't understand how kids in high school were getting kegs. Like that's even as an adult, that's tricky. Like, how the
Yeah,
fuck
it
do you
is.
get
That
kegs?
sounds like mad privilege. That
You're a
sounds like
parent.
mad privilege.
I've gotten a keg like twice, and this shit was mad arduous.
It's a lot of work.
Tap.
Like you gotta tap it, you gotta carry it, and I was like, dog, never again, never again.
You're 15. How do you have this?
Somebody can send us a keg of hard liquor, though. I'll take it.
A big barrel of hard liquor.
Hey,
Hell yeah. I'll take a barrel of Uncle Nearest. Send it my
no
way.
skip.
Or Bartesian can send us all some capsules.
Let's go. I'm with that, too. I'll take a Bartesian sponsorship.
Oh, I can't wait. Y'all might get here tomorrow.
Nice.
Go.
Go ham. I want picks.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Picks or it didn't happen.
To the head. What you drinking now?
Gin and tonic.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go. Nice British drink.
You got a line?
Do I have a lime? I actually buy the lime powder, like the dehydrated, crystallized stuff. It's a light. It comes in handy.
Tastes the same.
Yeah, tastes the same.
Yeah.
I'm reading this Facebook comment from Lyndon.
Lyndon, what up, homie? Yeah.
You see my face?
That's the homie. Friend of the show, Lyndon.
Lyndon, stick around, man, because you're going to want to hear from Alicia from one of your favorite albums. So, welcome to the Liner Notes, officially episode 24. The Liner Notes live. We back here. We back in full strength. We got Alibi back in the building. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like the boom better. Alicia in the building, Joel in the building, Survival in the building, aka Almost Red Man. You know what I mean? What up, y'all? Oh man, I'm so glad you said that, Alibi. So I was like, I meant to say that Survival like weeks ago. I was like, damn, since Redman's lost that weight, I can see him if he throwing some glasses. Again, not that they're exactly the same, but I see a little bit. But anyway,
that's my guy, Reggie Noble.
Hey, there it is. Right now we are currently streaming. We got a lot of people tuning in on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook. Welcome.
One day we'll all be in one place.
We will. One day we're gonna honestly, just keep it a buck. We're gonna kill Facebook, man. So we want all y'all to move over to mainly YouTube. You know, maybe we'll keep Twitch going. Twitter is just there. A couple folks do pop on there, but eventually we want all y'all on YouTube. Like Twitter, I mean, Facebook's whack. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, but people still tune in there, so that's why we do it. Anyway, without all that, how was your weeks, everybody? How was your weeks? Alibi, we're starting with you, man. You was living it up.
Starting with me, with my daughter somewhere screaming in the background. My week was super busy, coming off of a great weekend in New Orleans. We had a blast. Ate at mainly black-owned places and just kicked it around us, and that was fun.
Who did you see out there?
Oh, Jay Electronica, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you dap him up?
I did dap him up.
You shared that so many times. I'm like, bro, I just saw.
Fuck with Jay Electronica, and it was weird. And it was weird because I definitely felt like the only person in there that knew what was going on. And much like the time when we could have met DJ Premier and y'all tried to y'all convinced me it was not DJ Premier.
I was not a part of that.
I did not go for the okie doke this time.
I was with you on that. If you want to tell
my
that
wife
story
was trying to
real quick.
convince me it was not Jay Electronica, but to
You're
tell
not for the banana in the tailpipe.
No, but I'll be brief. Probably at the Smoking Grooves tour.
Yeah, yep.
Like 2000 something. We were at where were we at? City Center downtown.
Yep. Old City Center.
And we sitting there eating, and I'm looking, and this dude sitting by himself, and I'm like, "Hey man, that's DJ Premier." And everybody with us like, "Nah, that's not Premier. Like, why would he be here?" I was like, kicking it before his show, like shopping like regular people. And they're like, you crazy. You know, that ain't him. So they scared me out of going to ask if it was him. And then he comes out during Gangstar's set with the same shit on. And I was like, you motherfuckers. Like, Premier is my favorite producer of all time. And I was crushed. The consolation, I guess, was I did get to meet Flavor Flav. If that's a consolation.
Well, remember we met MOP later that night. Big Suge, remember that?
Yeah. That was, that's my favorite rap of all time.
Yeah, and remember when the drunk dude tried to take Big Suge's chain and almost got his life took?
Almost got hands. And we would have been given hands with him too. Like, fuck it.
So this goes back to when y'all talk about drinking and having more confidence and talking to the ladies. This dude apparently had more confidence to touch another grown man's like iced out chain. And they were definitely like, I'm gonna let you live because you're drunk as shit. But he was finna get like mashed out, like for real, for real.
He had one more good time to try to touch that chain.
That mug had been at least like 30,000 at least. That mug was not cheap. And for some drunk ass random dude to come up like, oh, I was like, fam.
He about to get stomped out in front of Target Center.
Mash out posse for real. Oh man. Joe, how was your week?
It was good. It was chill. Work and dual podcasting, and that is it. Chilling.
You do a podcast outside of this one?
Absolutely, I do. It's called the Moonlighters Club.
You ain't loyal. You ain't loyal.
Moonlighters Club, everyone. Moonlighters.
This whole ain't loyal, man. He ain't loyal. Moonlighters Club. It's a great one. Survival, how was your week?
This week was straight. I didn't really do any work except for
nice.
Except for Wednesday. Really, it was kind of a busy day, packed day. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I already got my results back from all the blood tests. I'm good to go out here in the streets.
You finna be ripping and running, huh?
Yeah. I got my second COVID test coming up Tuesday. So it's good times coming up.
Me too, man. Tuesday, dog.
Yes,
everybody's gonna be vaxxed.
What'd you get? What are you getting? Pfizer?
I got the Pfizer.
Nice.
Pfizer.
I'm Moderna.
Alibi and Survival were Pfizer. You and Alicia were Moderna. Then I was
Pfizer Eskimo Brothers.
Something like that.
Yeah. Literally, he got the shot in his penis.
Oh.
There's veins in it. Alicia said, veins are good.
Yo, Alicia, how was your week? Moving on. How was your week?
Rescue us, please.
Yeah.
My week was, it was straight. Busy. Working a lot. We're super short staffed. So been doing the job of the two people who are missing and my boss because mediocreness. Lived my best ratchet life one night, popped out, had an interview for Gucci stepdaddy, went all right.
Gucci.
I don't think he's a possibility, but my week was good. How was your week, A-Quil?
Yeah, how about you?
My week was pretty good. We got back, we're back on track with the trivia, everything calmed down a little bit. That was, I don't want to say that was a highlight. It's just been busy, just getting a lot of stuff done, getting ready for this busy season, finna be outside soon, you know what I mean? And now it's, especially already, vax, my vax already kicked in, so got my superpowers and all that, you know what I'm saying? So
shoulders about to be out.
Man, them shoulders finna be out in a few days, boy.
Shoulders out.
I'm gonna send y'all all the pictures. Send it to Alibi in 8K for real.
You're gonna get blocked.
I'm gonna have on sunblock. You gonna see that sunblock? That's about it, boy.
Have people started booking weddings and stuff again? Like, are we seeing movement? Is this happening?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. So that's those been picking up like crazy, and then just events in general. So I've been booking because of the wedding stuff. I've actually had to book like other like standard events in advance for certain people too, where it's like business launch parties and stuff, and so that's been good. So
we made it, Mama. We made it.
We did. So we getting there. We ain't out the woods yet, but we close enough. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, man, it was felt like it was a quiet week for the most part. I mean, I know like the NFL draft was on yesterday. I ain't watch it, but did y'all watch it at all? And are y'all happy with your selections? If you're watching and if you're still boycotting, that's all good too. Because fuck the NFL, like for real. But
still boycotting.
Alibi still boycotting.
At this point, is it a boycott anymore? Aren't you just done?
I think I am. I'm getting pretty close to being done with all.
That's a long ass boycott.
I'm almost done with all sports at this point. Like if it's not my son, I'm cool.
The NBA sucks now. The NFL, the quality of football is so much worse than it was 8 years ago that it's sad to watch them not play defense. I can only watch college football. But yeah, NFL is just not as good. It's kind of just shitty.
Pay the guys.
Yeah.
Pay the guys.
Definitely pay the guys.
I want to give a quick shout out to Soren Eagle watching on YouTube because they said Survival. That's your
That's
you
my
are their
uncle.
nephew.
That's my
Hey,
uncle.
so
Oh,
got the fam watching. So I just want
What
to
up,
drop
Uncle
it in real
Steven?
quick.
Uncle Soaring.
I like it. Is he native? Nice.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, both of y'all got some Alabama players. Roll Tide, Joel and Survival. Joe, Najee Harris. Congrats to y'all. Survival, y'all got Mac Jones. My condolences. Yo, that shit is trash, bro. These are trash. Trash, bro. I don't care if he was 12 years old. Trash.
As soon as he got drafted, I got hit with like 15 text messages basically saying the same thing, condolences, and then everyone hit me with the soggy midsection memes. It's like it happened all before pick 16. So like all in the span of 10 minutes.
Did they send you the No Obama one?
They did send me the No Obama one.
Exactly.
The worst part is we don't even know if that's him, but we're like, fuck it, run with it.
That's him.
It's like
Definitely him.
Hey,
no idea if it's him.
Hey, Mac Jones. Welcome to being guilty before you're proven innocent.
Yeah.
Boom.
How does it feel? That's all the random stuff I got. Anything else I want to add random? We can just get to the album. We can get to it, baby.
Yeah,
I know Alicia want to stall, but we're trying to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not just gonna let them, baby. I'm here. I stand by what I said.
Well, let's get it. This week on the podcast, we did a Tribe Called Quest Midnight Marauders. You dig? And gentlemen, did it get a classic? The answer is.
The answer is fucking right.
Got a classic. Got a classic. Alibi, your boy PT was
by
like,
a hair. But
your boy PT was like, is this a real question? The answer is, it is a real question because, Joel and Survival, I mean, one of the two or maybe the both might not have made it a classic. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real question we got to ask sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I was also explaining to PT that, we're going to sprinkle in some things. And the whole point of this is to see how they hold up over time. Just because it was classic in 2000 still don't mean it's still classic in 2021. It is to me, but some of these albums ain't aging so well, man.
Yeah, Asian skits, just that's not it. Not it.
Nope.
Alibi, what was the percentage of people on IG that thought it was a classic, though?
So I think it was 94, but in actuality, it was probably closer to 97. I accidentally hit no for ours from our page because I think we had a little hiccup. I think initially this album may not have been classic. And I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think I clicked no. So in all actuality, it was like 37 votes yes and 1 vote for no.
Well,
only one no?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow, who was that one no?
Guilty as fuck. And let's be clear. Let's be clear though. I rated it a 21. So I didn't rate it a bad album. Like I personally don't like it.
Welcome to our world where 21 is terrible.
But like I don't like it. It's not something I ever have to listen to again. But listening to something with the rubric in front of you is different. Is different than just listening to it with your ear. So when you go line by line, I can see how people would think this is a classic. But the music, y'all, the music is average at best.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
No way, but I respect the 21. I'm never going to argue against the 21.
That's how I felt about Survival and Kendrick's score. I was like, well, I'm not really going to argue. It still caught the album great. So, yeah.
It is.
Well, I want to give a quick shout out, 2 quick shout outs. Because like I said, I won't say fans, but folks that join us and support us and appreciate us, and they're catching on what we're doing. We got people starting to do the metrics, even outside of our immediate homeboys who are down to do it. But it's usually when they want to argue with us, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Kiki. She did metrics for like the last 3-4 weeks, and she gave us a 22. So appreciate it. Brother Rob, nice. aka the 7-time trivia champion, he put up a picture of Tom Brady. So Survival, you appreciate that. He put up he gave this album a score of, I want to say 23. So we got people doing the metrics. So again, anytime y'all do the metrics out there, I'll definitely give you a shine, give you some shout out, just send it to us, in IG or Twitter, Facebook, DMs, wherever. Let us know if you're doing it. that's all we want, man. We want to have these discussions and we put some stuff behind it. So we got some more coming for y'all. I want to say about 100% of people on Twitter gave it a classic, but that was like 2 people voting, but still. They count. They matter too. So
we don't got a heavy Twitter presence.
Nah.
It's all right.
So basically, I'm the only person who thinks this album isn't a classic. And here's the thing.
that chose the vote. That chose the vote. Or
I think
chose to voice it. There we go.
There it is. And I stand by what I said. I think some of y'all are lying because, Tribe Called Quest, they're legends. This is supposed to be the album. As rap lovers of rap, we're supposed to say we love this. But y'all, what is this album about? Somebody tell me. What is this album about?
Shit. Let's get into it.
It's about a lot of New York Nick Simmons.
It's about rapping. It's just it ain't about it's about music. It's just about good music and a good time.
Rappers who are just on a CD rapping.
Yeah, Alicia.
That's what music was in '93.
Yeah,
Gang
Alicia,
of niggas just rapping just to rap.
That's what it was in New York in '93. I see y'all really got me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Alicia got a good point.
I looked up what music was about in 1993 because I was like, why didn't this make it to where I was? Because I was still in LA. You know why it didn't make it to where I was? Because Predator had just come out. Because not all eyes, Strictly for My Niggas had just come out.
Yeah, those are bad comparisons though.
But where I was is that's what I was listening.
No, where you were, there was also Freestyle Fellowship and the Far Side and Mad Niggas that was also rapping about nothing. You named all the gangster rappers. Not doing this with you today.
This is what we're here for. We're here for. This. What are they rapping? These are like the niggas in high school at the lunch table, just rapping about rap.
Yep.
I rap.
That was a shit.
And I clap. Rap.
Yeah, you're making points, Alicia. She's kind of right. But first of all, you're not about to claim Strictly for My Niggas. If you on the West Coast, you claim Machiavelli, and All Eyes on Me.
100%.
Those are the two Tupac albums y'all claim. Everything else, Tupac. We shared
video for I Get Around.
We all shared Tupac until All Eyes on Me, so I don't want to hear that.
Wait, didn't Shock G say that was at his place? If I'm not mistaken. I feel like there was they told a recent story where Pac was out there making it hot. And Shock G was like, "Yo, while I'm on tour, stay at my place, like relax." And I think they shot the video. I think if I got myself,
I can't remember. Okay. But yeah, so y'all West Coast get two Tupac albums to claim. Me Against the World is not a West Coast album.
No, Wiley, Me Against the World is not a West Coast album.
Those aren't West Coast albums. Y'all get two.
Me Against the World on the radio. I never heard anything out of Award Tour.
Baltimore album.
An Electric Relaxation on the radio in LA, like never. But I never heard another one of these singles.
And I'm sure the East Coast also never heard Far Side or Freestyle Fellowship. Absolutely. So I understand what you're saying, but I think it's a bad comparison.
But
Quest don't make that kind of music.
To Alicia's point, though, concept's not a 4. Like it's not. They're
marauding for ears, bro.
No.
You mean?
To Alicia's point, this album, their name mattered. I'm not saying it mattered to us, but their name matters to people. Like this is not their best album. Like production.
Oh my God.
I feel like if we were to rate these albums with their fans, if we were to rate these albums with like true trap fans, I find it hard to believe
it's going to come down to this. You have a People's Instinctive camp. You have a Low End Theory camp, and you have a Midnight Marauders, and it's all based on probably what you heard first.
To Alicia's point, though, when I was listening, I rated this album the same time I rated that also came out in '83, Black Rain, and Q-Tip's a far better producer than the people that are on Black Rain. But in terms of just like tone and feel, like the vibe is very similar in terms of just like for most of the songs on both those albums. And then I learned more about like how this album is produced, and there's a lot more that went into it. I understand Alicia's point sonically. This album didn't this doesn't blow me away to the point where I heard it and I was like, yo, this is clearly a classic. Like, and then kind of going through the metrics. It was something that I listened to a few times, and then listening to it a few times, like really listening to production. Like I'm not gonna say the lyrics were hit it out the park, but there's a lot about their delivery and things I like. Because I waffle between 21 and 22. I actually bumped my production score up from a 4 to a 5, which I think is why it's a classic. It wasn't a classic for the longest time.
Exactly.
It wasn't. So I get what you're saying, Alicia. Like when people hear Tribe, they're like, yo, trick if they saying classic. It's like it's not as much of a slam dunk as I think other people think.
I agree. I think that's where all of the hype comes from. I almost feel about this album the way Survival felt about Good Kid, Mad City. Just people really, really hype it up. And then I listened, I was like, oh, because this was the first time I ever listened to this whole thing. Like, like quick story. I think I told y'all this off air or whatever. When I first moved to New York and I stayed with Isis when I first got there, we watched
Shout out ISIS.
It's my ace boom right there.
Shout
But
out to the homegirl.
we watched it together. And y'all know she grew up in New Jersey. I grew up in California.
Mm-hmm.
As we were watching it, I just realized our hip hop experiences were just so different because she was rapping along, like these moments meant something to her. She was rapping along with all of the songs, and I literally knew the 2 radio singles, and that was it. And I was just thinking, like, wow, we grew up, our hip hop experiences were so different just because I wasn't this CD. I gave Impact a 4, and that was just being nice because I couldn't figure out what the impact of this album was compared to just the impact of Tribe in general.
Right.
Because this album, it's
the impact of the album was huge though. I think they nailed, at least when it came to musicality. That whole era of hip hop, like 90, 91 through 93, there was a lot of jazz influenced music, and I think they did it the best with this album. I think they had the perfect mesh of like samples, like jazz samples and original production kind of melding together. And I think they gave us a sound that we hadn't heard perfected in that way. And it's not an album. I don't think it's an album that is meant to like hit you in the chest or hit, it's not that kind of album. Like, but to Joel's point, it is an album that grows on you. And I'm not mad at a 21 because I know, look, back then when we consumed albums, you listened to an album for 2 or 3 years. And I went through a period where I probably really liked half the album. And then I'd add like another one of the songs that I didn't usually listen to. And then I added another one of the songs. And before I knew it, I was just listening to it straight through because I was like, everything on here is pretty dope, But it ain't an album full of singles. It ain't a Get Rich or Die Trying. It's not a Chronic. It's not a Doggy Style, But it is. I believe that it does deserve to be in that canon. It's one of their better albums. If not this one, then what one is it?
I would just debate impact and concept. I feel like the sound of it, same. I can't debate that. But 94, everything changed. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I just didn't know. Just like we talk about Kendrick, I wouldn't know the impact of. I feel like if you talk to anyone who's related to hip hop, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like any professional, they'd be like, "We all knew about this." Like any DJ, any producer, they'd all be like, "We all knew about this." It'd just be interesting to know, like, you know what I mean? Like you said, you listen to it, or like someone in their 20s, you know what I mean? Someone in 30s, this shit dropped. Like, what's it like in comparison to all these other albums that Alicia named? And I don't want to do it when she's gone, but I will disagree with the fact that people who really love hip hop, I feel like there are people who have this in rotation with everything else, strictly for my niggas.
Yeah,
because you had options back then, So
right.
Yep. It was a particular album and a particular groove, and I feel like then everything didn't sound the same. Now everything sounds the same. Yeah. I remember, y'all remember Columbia House?
Yep.
Yeah, Penny.
Yep.
Pay a penny for.
Service.
Yep. So my albums that I got, I think were. It was this Tribe album, Spice 187 he wrote.
I think I got
nice.
I want to say Snoop and probably Southern Playalistic. All nice. Totally different albums, totally different regions, and I was rotating through all of them mugs when I was like 13. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We had Southern Playalistic, but again, this just didn't. I can only remember hearing the first 2 singles.
Yeah. It wasn't that type of album, though. It wasn't. It didn't even play. The videos didn't play like that. You would see Electric Relaxation. It was a hip hop head kind of album, and then it got this weird crossover where it crossed over to like White College Kids, which is always really fucking bizarre to me. But it was it. That don't change nothing. I think that they gravitated towards it because it's positive. Like it's very positive music. It's good time music. They're not killing niggas. They're not hitting you over the head with books. They're just dudes rapping and having a good time, and occasionally sprinkling in some cool wordplay and a little bit of information.
Absolutely.
Alicia, do you want to break down your entire score with us so that we can kind of cross compare?
I gave everything a 4 except production, and I bumped production up, and I went back and forth between a 5 and a 4 on production and a 5 and a 4 on impact. Production I bumped up, impact I left at a 4. So again, I didn't rate it like a terrible album. I rated it a great album. It was really close to being on paper a classic. I just don't fuck with it at all.
Survival wants you to
That's
be his
dope.
kindred spirit. You vote for 21s.
That's, I mean, that honestly, like the way that she's describing this is
It's perfect.
Like the exact same manner in which I was describing everything. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember.
Kendrick, last week.
Last week for Kendrick. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, like I understand this, and I feel like this is gonna happen a lot with the albums that we review, like from maybe a bygone era, or someone that we didn't really know about or something like that. Like you can appreciate the musicality of it. You can appreciate this like how well it's engineered, and like we geeked out on the podcast about all of the like production shit, and that was really, really fun.
Yeah, that was one of our funner segments.
Yeah,
it was real quick.
really, really good. But if you're not into that shit, and Alicia, I'm not sure that you are, then it's like, well, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, who cares?
This is just gonna
Yeah.
who cares?
But-
This is just like a 2021. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next project.
But
I got to push back on that though. That point y'all two made, because
Wait, real quick. Shout out to Bunny in the chat. Oh, YouTube is going up today. I'm fucking with this. All right, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
two categories aren't about listening to it. Impact and concept are just like what you thought about, like how it affected people or anything.
Yep.
In terms of not fucking with it, that I'm on the fence with that, because there's shit that I don't fuck with that's musically great.
She gave it a great.
No. I mean classic. Like I'm not a Dead Prez fan, but I'm not gonna sit here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I just feel like sometimes there are things I know what you're saying, but there's certain things I listen to. I'm like, yo, this is not doing it for me. Like Scarface doesn't do it for me.
Yes.
He doesn't do it for me.
I agree.
But I listen to it.
I
I'm like, but I do think though, to Alicia's point, it's the music I get with her is like between one, but I really do think there are certain things that Tribe got passes for, with people in terms of like, it's Tribe, motherfucker. How big are they? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I agree with her
In retrospect,
that happens. I mean, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, I mean, that happens in all industries. I mean, let's be honest. Let's keep it above. It's not limited to music. You can get a pass for greatness just off of your name in really any industry. And I'm not really sure. So it's going to be interesting the way that we look at some of the newer albums, from the 2010s, 2010s, because I think that like the rubric is really going to kind of throw out of whack how we look at and ingest all of this music. Like I don't think it's going to be as some things might be better conceptually, but like we'll have like less of a great musicality sense. Like I think it's just going to like vary and shift across different topics. So it's going to be interesting.
So you don't think it'd be just a case of, let's say, if they're making better conceptual albums but just whacker lyrics? And I'm just saying it to pick, but not to.
I mean, we all live in 2021, so I mean,
I think it's an interesting point, A-Quil, because I believe that the best artists of this era in some respects are better. Like rappers overall, the best of the best rappers have gotten better in a lot of respects. And it's partly because like all the other rappers did all the shit, right? And figured out. I don't think there's a new style that can be kicked at this point that hasn't been done before. So now like your job, if you really care about the craft, is to improve on all the other stuff. Niggas used to get away with just putting words together.
Or,
you know what I mean? Like now, not so much, unless you're like Eminem or Logic or one of these, Joyner Lucas, or just one of these dudes that just puts words together. Like
lyrics. Yeah, I agree everything Alibi said. there's a misnomer that lyrics are just trash and music is just trash now. That's mainstream music.
Yeah.
I have access to all kinds of rappers that live all across the world. If I choose to only listen to the top 15, that's on me.
Right.
I have access to like 80 motherfuckers in Minnesota who are probably really good, or 80 motherfuckers in Boston or DC who are probably really, really good. I think the difference is people have, growing up with hip hop, you're like, well, I had Tupac, so you need to bring this shit to my door instead of me looking for it.
Yeah.
I think music's gotten better. Like to Alibi's point, I agree wholeheartedly that the better artists are better. The projects I'm seeing, like people forget the 90s because we only want to remember the good shit. There was a lot of bullshit. Like there were like 80 versions of Snoop, a nigga. Like there were like 90 versions of everything I love. But we didn't want it to. We don't tell the new generation about that shit. We like, oh, y'all ain't Nas, but we don't tell them niggas about nature.
It'd be like Snoop with a U. That's how the labels used to get off. They'd be like Snoop with a U.
Yeah, especially
like Bruce Lee, the Bruce L.I.
Bruce L.I. Yeah.
Like, man,
Joe, wait. First of all, Joe, you know that's messed up. They couldn't see nature. That picture was too little, man. Of course,
tiny ass pixels.
Yeah.
So I agree that like if you're dedicated to your craft and like whatever it is, especially in rap, then you're prone to get better. I don't think the industry has gotten better in terms of music, like what is hitting our ears sonically. Like I think it's about the same. I just think there's more of it. Like,
do you mean really popular artists?
No. I'm just saying like the same percentage of music is good. There's just more of it because we have access to more.
Yeah, because you get more bullshit with the more dope.
Exactly. There's
way more whack
shit.
Fam, can I just say real quick? Because it's growing up in the Midwest, and I knew like the Alibi were coming up, and rapping and stuff. We knew we were nice, but it was always kind of like, are we just nice for Minnesota, or like, are you nice for real? And I do remember the first time I went to New York, and everybody's giving out CDs, and it's like, okay, so I'm literally, I was just taking whatever. Man, I listened to about 5 or 6, and I was like, yo, it's whack people in New York, just like Minnesota. I know we nice as fuck. because all you hear about is like the super dope, like Rakim, Nas and Jay. No, there's some trash ass dudes, and it's like more per capita. So it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But I do think the Alibi point is a little better though. Now.
The level of whackness
is better now. Like just based on our reviews.
I think they have more skills. I think they have more overall skills. Like there's a couple, like Ice Cube's super dope as a writer. He really is. But he ain't like he's not like the most lyrical dude. Right. And now you get people that have all of Ice Cube's gifts plus like the lyrical piece. And I think we're starting to see more of that where rappers can do kind of it all. Then you add in that kind of harmonizing element and you get a whole nother piece of the pie. So it's, I think overall folks are improving, but that's no slight to the rappers that created this because cats were inventing shit. Like you never heard nobody rap the way that Rakim rapped then. Right. You know what I mean? So of course we should go further. It's no different from I hate to always compare rap to basketball because
I was just thinking that though.
It's really a bad analogy, but but the players improved. The eras is different. Like, could y'all see Wilt Chamberlain now with some LeBrons on? Like, I think he'd be getting busy, dude.
with the knee pads
but you got to be clear about which Wilt Chamberlain busy you're talking. Just be clear.
I mean,
but you know what? It's funny though. It's funny to your point about why I don't compare it to sports because it's mental. Athleticism has gotten better. People work less as hard at their craft in sports now than they did in the past because they're just more athletic.
More raw talent. Yeah.
To Alibi's point though, I think people are like, look at the West Coast. Like niggas, like when I was growing up, they were like those 2 or 3 guys and they weren't that thoughtful, but they were dope as fuck. The West Coast has so many bright, fucking dope killers out here, bro. Like the fact that we had Nipsey and Kendrick in the same lifetime is wild. Like them niggas are the thoughtful dudes. And I'm not saying they're the most amazing, but you're like, bro, this is just so much.
I think that's one of the. I'm looking forward to getting into that with Alicia like next season. Some of the stuff that we got lined up because I feel like
what are you talking about?
Like just talking in the future on lives and such, like about like just these albums from the West Coast, because I feel like, again, the West Coast gets pigeonholed all into gangster rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know that the non-gangster rap artists like necessarily made it out of Cali into the mainstream, because you have a ton of other artists, Digital Underground, Farside, who I mentioned before, Exhibit,
Jurassic 5,
Alcoholics, Jurassic 5, like Freestyle Fellowship. It's a whole
the
gamut
Far
of
Right
people.
Hey Roo.
Yeah, there's a whole gamut of rappers that kind of ran. They all had different styles.
They run the liner notes, bro. We started with Pac because of All Eyes on Fucking Me. We had fucking Kendrick get his scores. Fucking Ice Cube get his scores. They literally they run our pockets. I'm sick of these niggas. They running us. They running us.
Hey man, I've been running a lot of numbers, and I agree.
The
with
West
you,
Coast.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's
like 20
talk,
years.
let's talk some numbers a little later. But real quick, I was just asking the chat while I was going up, what were some of their favorite songs off the album? So we got a lot of, for God Lives Through, The Chase, Lyrics to Go. We got 8 Million Stories. Got a lot of love on YouTube for Oh My God, yes.
Mhm.
And award tour. So yeah, just shouting y'all out. Shout out. I see you, Bunny.
It was interesting to see what. Go ahead. My bad.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
It was interesting to see like what songs from this album didn't get mentions to me, because I feel like it took, like, God Lives Through is probably my favorite song on the whole album, and I feel like it took a while to get there. I'm not sure Lyrics to Go got a mention. I like that song a lot. Keep It Rolling to me is super underrated, and it's like the only feature too, right? Like Large Professor is the only other like non-tribe rapper.
Yeah, and yeah, because like Busta Rhymes just did the hook, he didn't do a verse.
Yeah. So I just feel like at the end of the album, like I like that whole, like, man, once you get to Electric Relaxation, like I feel like everything goes. You know what I mean? But we got, on Instagram, it was a lot of Electric Relaxation. Probably got the most overall in award tour.
So the radio singles. I did want to go back though, and it's very interesting. I bumped up production after listening to the podcast. And it's very funny because Survival, like we were on the same page about it. And Survival was like, yep, I don't care, not bumping it up. I don't care about the hard work, all the 12 samples in one song. He was like, still a 4. And the reason I bumped it up though is just because in comparison, when I'm thinking about what I was listening to growing up back then, and you actually asked, you were like, what's the sample? And it was the Roger and Zapp, More Bounce to the Ounce. That sample was all over West Coast hip hop. And it was just the straight up sample. There was nothing, there was no just taking the refrain or just taking this drum or just taking this flute. So I really appreciated learning how much went into a Tribe sample compared to we just about to take Roger and Zapp and rap over this beat.
Speed it up or slow it down.
Yeah, that was a lot of rap back in 1993 in LA. So that definitely made me bump it up. But Survival, I was dying. He was like, yeah, nope, don't care, still not bumping it.
Yeah. Well, and just real quick for everybody, because we have a few new watchers, so appreciate y'all, and a couple new subscribers. I see y'all. So we're, like I said, the Lighter Notes Live, we gather here every Friday, and it's in response to our podcast that we drop every Wednesday, which is available on Spotify, where we at Apple Podcasts, wherever you can download, stream your pods, except for what's it called now? I don't want to keep calling it Tidal. Or it's just Squarespace.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So if you ever want to know what we're talking about in detail, make sure you listen to our podcast that drops every Wednesday. And was there anything that you guys can think of off top that we missed on the podcast that we should talk about here? Like, I know we nerded out a lot about the production, and we didn't feel like it was too much like heavy stuff in regards to their lyrics. Again, Fife's gonna have so many similes and metaphors about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? At some point, my microphone went out. We got it back. But was there anything that we missed on the pod that we should bring up here?
For me, probably just I don't think we did the cover art justice.
You didn't like our pictures that Survival put on?
No, that was hella dope. that made like like the 14-year-old of me Like I was hyped. I was like, oh, I made the cover.
You know what's funny? It's like I feel. I was like, I hope this isn't vain, but I was like, that's my favorite survival album design. But it's like, well, it's because it has our faces on it. So it's like it had nothing to do with the actual like artwork because he's done some of this stuff that was dope too. But it's like, this is cool.
To get Alicia in there for next season.
Yeah.
You
At some
look
point.
like a real West Coast gangster rapper on it. I use this picture for everything.
You know what's really funny about that picture is because I was holding my daughter in it. I think we were like out getting ice cream last year or something like that. Like, my wife just caught me. Like she was like, "Hey," and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even meant to be like, no, like
That's crazy. That was a dope one. That's a real good cover art.
Wait, Kiki, what?
Appreciate
Kiki says she did not like the cover. You talking about well, first of all, they're both great. You're talking about the Tribe cover, right? Because it's definitely fighting. It's definitely fighting words. No, like the one with our pictures.
Definitely. I think we talked about the Alibi. You want to talk more about the cover and
well,
the 71 luminaries that were featured on there.
I mean, there's a ton of ton of hopefully familiar to everyone watching and listening. Portraits in the back. So it was always fun as a young, teen to look through the album and try to see if I could name everybody, right? Like that felt like it almost felt like a hip hop pass. Like, do I know all of these dudes by face, and being able to check that out. The other thing reason I brought it up was because I had forgot that there were different color versions of the albums. So the borders on some were red, the borders on some were green, the borders on some were black. Yeah. So when I saw the green version, when I was looking through stuff for promo, I had the red version. So it just threw me off. Like I was like, the fuck is this? Is this like the huh?
Are the features different based on the border?
Nope. It's just the border with the clocks. Like some of the backgrounds red, some of them are black, some of them are green. And I had the red one. Yeah. So it looked off to me, like the number of times I opened that CD. Like when I saw the green joint, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I forgot that there were people that had different color versions.
Can I tell you, I just realized that there's actual faces on the back of that art. Like as you were talking, I had to go look. What are you talking about?
Yep. Nah, so I can remember sitting in my room looking at that and trying to name everybody and thinking about, oh, dope, that's Too Short. They put Too Short on the cover. That's hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to try to name a few. I just asked the chat if there's any that can remember who's on there.
That's crazy. I never knew I never paid any attention. Then again, I listened to that album for the first time this week.
I'm finna cheat right now.
Because I think I got all 71 from the Wikipedia page, like when we were doing the notes.
Oh, you got the actual names?
I think so.
Y'all want to try to guess a few and then maybe Survival read them off after that? As a
De La Soul's in the front. Or are you putting up the pictures?
Oh no, I wouldn't put none up.
Oh, that'd have been hard. We should have thought about that ahead of time. Damn it.
I can.
No, we good. I was gonna say that would have been cool but De La's on the cover for sure. Heavy D.
Yeah,
on there, D. Right? Busta.
Is that Search on there?
Search is on the front. Everybody down with the native tongues was definitely on there.
Yeah.
I wonder, is Doom on it? Is Zev Lover on there?
Before the mask.
Yeah. Because he was down with them because they were down with Sub Rock.
Yep.
So I'll stop there. I mean, I'll let y'all jump in with some.
Is that MC Light?
That wouldn't surprise me. I got to pull the cover up though myself.
Yeah, I'm over there peeking.
What y'all over there doing? Joel, what you doing? You don't recognize nobody?
Well, they had so I thought
you're on mute, Joe.
that there were different people in with the borders.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So So with the red border, there were different people from the black border and different people from the green border.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right now too.
From what I've seen.
Question.
See, and that goes into concept though. For the listeners, that does go into concept. That's dope that they did that. And so for me, something like that's going.
What does that mean though?
What does
mean?
that mean?
It don't mean nothing. It's just pictures of niggas that they know.
But no. I think to me that's like a cosign of who they fuck with, but also like who to them represented like the culture. You know what I mean?
Ears?
Huh?
Who's out here robbing ears?
Yeah, man.
Marauding them ears.
Who else is down with the tribe of Marauders?
Yeah.
that nigga Van Bottom is marauding something else.
He wasn't marauding something else.
Yeah,
Damn.
God
There's
damn.
a lot of I see third base in there. I mean, what's the other dude? Minister Pete Nice.
Prime Minister Pete Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put white
Ice-T
dudes
was on there.
cover, but that's just me.
That's racist. Well, about my wife in the comments about she was on the cover. You want to know cover? You know, my wife tried to do. She got a tribe shirt. She's like, "You want to put this tribe shirt on?" I was like, "This is kind of dope. I'd wear it." Man, this thing is small as hell. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I said, "Can you take it to it? Can you take into account COVID body? I can't fit this shit."
Shoulders definitely
You're
would have
gonna
been
have
out.
your stomach out. You're gonna have a little crack.
Damn, I would have had everything out.
He was about to be looking like Ezekiel Elliott out here, bro.
It's a dope ass shirt though. It just says "Do that, do that, do
It's a
that."
hard shirt.
Yeah.
So
Grandmaster Kaz made the
y'all were
cover.
looking at
My bad.
the-
Go ahead, sir.
Are you looking at the green one? Yeah.
I'm
green
looking
one,
at the
I
red
see.
one. Grandmaster
Okay.
Kaz.
Yeah, I got all three of them pulled up.
That's
yeah.
hard. Biz.
Yeah, Kaz is.
Chi Ali. You don't fuck with Chi
Mm.
Ali?
Blow.
Let me see if I can move the block.
I'm gonna look at the yellow
Oh,
one.
man.
Ice-T, yay for me knowing one.
Yep.
Yep.
Ice-T's on the green one.
Diddy's on one.
And
Diddy made the cover.
Diddy, yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Buckshot from Black Moon, Kid Capri.
Capri. He's on the black one.
Wait, is that Moni Love next to Ice-T?
Might be. Kaz is on it. Wait, Wiley Kaz.
What else? Yeah,
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look at the yellow one. This one's mad blurry.
I don't know nobody in the red.
Yep, Kumo
That's the
D.
one I had. Oh, y'all looking at the green one. So the one that's to the right, that's Jalil from Houdini.
Let me go back to the green.
Oh, that's
And I think that's Diamond D next to him. You got the Beastie Boys, Kumo D,
yeah. Wait, the green.
Grandmaster Flash, Heavy D,
Yeah, the green one.
Short.
Yep.
oh, there they are. I definitely see.
Too
shorts
Short,
up,
Chuck
left side of
D.
the head. Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all
Large
said Marley
Professor.
Marr, right?
Nope, I didn't get to him yet.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good? Yeah, I like it.
This is dope.
Got
that
Mace
Dougie
and
Fresh?
Plug One.
Under the
Yes.
T,
You said is that who?
Dougie Fresh.
On the green one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that's Paz from Daylight.
Oh, he looked like Dougie Fresh.
He definitely looks like Dougie Fresh.
So fresh.
That's the Jungle Brothers above them, I think.
Yeah.
I like it. We got some hip hop history in here.
Hey, that's
I
dope.
fuck with it. It's a creative
is.
concept.
Nice.
For a
Yeah.
cover.
But,
And of course, the black, red, and green girl is lit.
but what does that have to do with
Yeah.
the album? Let's go back to the music. What does that have to do with the music?
Well, that's
Part
why
of
we have the
concept.
live, so we
That's
can kind of deviate a little bit.
It's part of concept. Goes under concept in our scoring metric.
What is the concept?
Marauding for ears. No, didn't. So on the pod, I discussed how originally the title for the album was something different, and I can't remember it off the top of my head.
And there
but
was
it
a different cover.
Yeah, but it was related to like midnight music, and so I think they just kind of redid the Marauders theme. And to me, to be honest, this album does sound like it's a nighttime album. Like the album was constructed to kind of be listened to at night, and I think it has that feel to it.
Joel, do you agree with that?
I think it's a reach. I don't know about the.
I should have given
I just feel like
3.
the concept. To be fair, though, this is the point I did make on the podcast. I don't know these dudes, but I feel like for native tongues, drugs were in the pit. Drugs were around. For De La Soul for sure.
Definitely.
These niggas for sure. I feel like there were just some mushrooms around, and he was like, "Yo, Midnight Marauders." Yeah, like we can explain this. Like they feel very. Native tongues feels very Pink Floydish, Beatleish, like experimental, and it's a good thing. But to Alicia, I do believe that they're just it's just one of those people that do that. It's like how Kanye fans who really love him, he'll do some weird shit and they're like, nah, that means Jesus comes back on the 6th day wearing yeet, and you're like, bro. You're like, bro, I don't know. I just kind of feel like they just use this word to use it. So I don't know.
I think
Q-Tip gonna fuck y'all up.
I did concept. I did concept, and I think I made like very loose associations with everything, and that's where I was like, all right, well, it was definitely thoughtful, and they put a lot of work and a lot of care into whatever they thought the concept was.
Okay.
I just couldn't like definitively connect everything, which is why I couldn't give it a 5.
I'm cool with that. I don't think it's the greatest of concepts. I just hope that we put it in context and compare it to other albums.
Because I didn't even know about the
niggas did not have concepts for albums in '93.
Yeah. Right. Chronic
is not the greatest concept.
We all gave it 4s across the board. Alicia, I'm sorry. What did you give it, Alicia?
A 4.
Oh yeah, so we all gave it 4s. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
But I also think we're nicer to older artists for not having these. But like if a newer artist is like, yo, everyone doesn't have lyrics in 2021. Why am I getting a 1?
Yeah.
When my shit don't sound too different from everything else that's out. I feel like Dialect was right. We were nicer on the people we like. We were. Like,
I think that's true.
If content means content, we should have just been like, I love you guys, but it's a 3, it's a 2. You know what I mean? But
well, I gave out mad 3s though. Yeah.
I gave out mad 3s for content.
Some of these were 2s, not this, but some of this shit could have been a 2.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I think we grade soft around concept, but I think it's gonna be tight going forward.
Tight on concept, tight on lyrics.
We got a scoring episode coming out for your ass, right?
For that ass.
And I think we really we put into perspective like some of the things that we think about, and I think we can be a little bit more, I don't even want to say more stringent for next season, but kind of tie it into the rubric a little bit more. Be like, are you really doing that? Or are you just fucking around? All right.
We also needed to find, like, in the help having Alicia around will help. We needed to like find ourselves within this. When you do shit like this, you hear other things and see other things. You're like, I don't want to be like that or do like that. So either you go too hard on something because you feel like you're doing it just for the show. But I feel like we were inherently too nice because we're like, all right, let's give things a chance. And you got to find that right way to judge things where you're right. And we all don't get it right. I mean, Survival's wrong all the time when he judges. All the time. I'm fucking with you. No. But to your point, though, I feel like I was the first 3 or 4. I was like, just like, I could have revised a bunch of that shit. You know what I mean? Like concepts, things like that. And then there were times I started catching myself towards the end. And I feel like even like I was better with people I like, but even people I have no way of feeling like, no, I'm just going to, this is what it is. I'm gonna leave it alone. And that is it. Like,
I think we need to have the space for the shit that we like, though. I think Alicia's description of how she rated this album is perfect because you showed that you can be objective. You also showed that you owned your bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this shit ain't for me, but I recognize that it's like it's still a really great album and it's really great music. It's just not my style. And I think we've all had our moments this season with that.
Absolutely. Like, I don't like this, but for replayability, there's nothing on it that I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to replay. I literally, in fact, had to stop it and restart it a couple of times because up until you get to a word tour, it just all sounds alike. All these songs sound alike to me. I was look at my.
She's just saying that because I said that about Drake.
I would walk everywhere, and I would be like, I would start it on my phone, and then I look down and be like, wait, I'm on song 9 already? Hold on. That's the good
and bad though of something being cohesive, right?
But
like,
see,
I think it works for this album because like the sound is good, but if you don't like the sound, then that shit's gonna.
It's funny though.
Like it did with me and Drake.
We ping people. People get credit for that, and then we ping people like not people for that at the same time. Like,
I think as long as you own it, it's cool. I said I don't like this because of this. It didn't mean I took 2 points from you.
Yeah,
it meant like maybe I was gonna give you a 3.5. If I was stuck between something, I skewed low because I was like, it just don't G with.
But no, I think you're right.
I could have bumped you to a 4, and I moved you to a 3.
Joel, I was going to ask, what do you think is a good, like, I guess, good and bad example of that? Because I think another album this came up with was Common, B. and how that's such an easy listen. Now, is it an easy listen because it sounds the same, or is it easy listen because it was a great listen? Like, what determines an easy listen? You know, when it's cohesive front to back, but the difference of like if it sounds all the same versus like no, it's all great. You know what I mean?
I think better albums do tend to sound the same in terms of like maybe not the sound initially, but like tone, tempos, things of that nature. Like Death Certificate has a decent number of songs, but it's a very you don't go too far down and you don't go too crazy on the album. It kind of hits it, it goes. Black Album is pretty for the most part. Let's go get it. You know what I mean? like as soon as it's out the gate, and you kind of there are laid back songs on it, but it does have a way of sounding. Life After Death is the same way. I think to Alibi's point, where you get knocked is like if it sounds the same because you're talking about the same thing, you have to be so good at that. We brought this up with Drake. Like if you're Amy Winehouse and you're talking about heartbreak, give me that in 13 songs. I'm probably gonna kill myself when it's all over, but that shit sounds amazing. But in terms of the music, again, to Alicia's point, when the production is very related, it needs to be creative enough to where some of those tones that are in and some of those instruments you have in the background are kind of sounding different. There's a lot of 2000 albums, like Fabulous's first album, where literally it sounds like the same style of beat over and over and over, and none of them are amazing. It's just like it was 2000, my nigga. So like, it was like the same shit.
Mad Neptunes for you.
We reviewing that?
And this is more like, no, we just have a sound. We know what we can rap to, but if you listen to those songs, and I'm just like Alicia, when I first heard it, I was like, yo, this sounds the same. But there's parts of songs you're like, nah, that actual nigga, that xylophone in the back or that fucking saxophone in the back is weird, bro. Like that shit does get different after a while.
And it's an original sound.
Yeah,
right.
That's the thing. And I think we kind of, it's important to note that. Like nothing had sounded like this prior to.
It's ironically original in a lot of ways.
Right. Well, they made us, it's a hip hop ass album. All of them samples, those samples layered. And to be honest, like that's something that we really didn't even know at the time that Q-Tip was so talented at. I think we thought it was Ali. You know?
Yeah.
I swore up and down it was.
What'd you say, Alicia?
Q-Tip is like a musical savant. Like
he really is.
Weird. Like I watch interviews with him and be like, okay, he really don't do people, but he really does music.
He's a savant at everything but rapping. When the mid-90s hit, I was like, dog, I don't need you to ever be
like Vibrant thing.
No, my God.
What's the Vibrant thing?
I didn't.
Dope beat.
Breathe and stop.
It's a dope beat. I don't need to hear him.
Yeah, I got a quick question. Can you guys name all the iterations of Tribe Called Quest and what's your favorite?
Hell no. What?
This one for sure.
Mute Alicia. Mute Alicia.
This one for sure. The Jerobi one. No, nothing against Jerobi either. I just don't. I'm still not 100% clear on like his role.
Because Jerobi was there from the jump, right?
He left People's Instinctive.
Yep.
Wasn't really present for the Low End Theory or this. And then I'm cool on the Consequence era. I could take JD. Like I could take Dilla working with him, but
then
all right.
Then of course the iteration after Fight Pass where it was
with Busta
Q-Tip and Busta. Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't consider that Tribe, but
right, more dedication.
The spirit of Tribe, I fuck with it. Like I'm not saying it's not Tribe. It's definitely a Tribe album.
Yeah. Okay, so then if you had to have, I think the clear consensus. I mean, Survival and Joe definitely give your thoughts, but I thought the clear consensus will be the lineup of Q-Tip, Fife, and Ali.
I mean, I think it happens a lot in a lot of groups when someone leaves or someone God forbid passes away, and then you still want to relive those moments or maybe chase those sounds and things like that, and it's very difficult to replace that person who had a very specific energy and like his character, his or her character and stuff like that. So I mean, and it happens a lot across like all types of music. Like I think they've been playing Sublime shit since like 90 whatever, 90 and you know what I'm saying, and their lead singer passed away from a heroin overdose, and it's just like you don't really want to leave those things in the past because you still want to play. Like as a musician, you still want to play, you still want to relive those moments. And like, yo, I was there when we made those hits. You know what I'm saying? I was on drums, I was on bass. So like I get it. I don't really think of those as like iterations so much as maybe odes to the past or
for
you know,
the
like,
post Fife. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job. Like I think I would I don't not consider it a Tribe album, you know, but
Yeah,
I think they did a great job embodying the spirit of what the Tribe Called Quest was, and Busta was there throughout all of this. So you know, he was down with their crew, so it worked. You know, no shade to it, but I'm with you.
I think it's horseshit. I hate that. Like Journey did it. Journey replaced their lead singer with like a dude from the Philippines.
Someone does it all the time.
Groups
3 times.
That's random as shit though. Like Busta was someone who was down with the native tongues.
Right,
so I look at that different. That's like an example of when it works. In general, I agree with you. And I also feel like groups should never try to like replicate shit. Like I hate when fools make like an album part 2. Like I don't need an Illmatic 2, bro. Like once you put the 2 on it.
Built for Cuba Links part 2?
Yeah, I feel like I mean, and that was cool, but I feel like once
it was cool.
But I feel like generally once you do like the sequel, like you're washed. You're just saying you're washed and out of touch, and you're trying to like get back to some bygone era, and it's like just
unless it was right after, unless that was your plan. Like my first album is this, album is this. But yeah, you're right. When there's 10 years go by, and you're like, yo, beat part 2 coming out.
Yeah.
About Nas's Stillmatic.
Well, it's not an Illmatic 2.
Yeah, he managed to flip it by not doing, and it was like, okay, I can, you know, the cover's horrible. Like, but
you love the pigeon.
You love the
pigeon.
Yeah.
Also, fucking, I love Stillmatic. I think it's one of the most overrated hip hop albums of all time. I loved 80% of my love for that album was Jay-Z's
I could find some
Spite.
more overrated hip hop albums.
I think it's one of the most. I out of Jay-Z's Spite, I would blast that album all the time. I'm like, yo, I definitely overrated.
But do you think it's an overrated album or just that Ether's an overrated diss track?
Ether's was overrated. The whole album came out 5 mics. Like it was like, yo, this is the response. This shit classic. And I'm like, I'll listen to it now. And I'm like,
I agree. I don't think it's a 5 mic album.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like
I do think it's a really great album. There's only like 2 songs on there I don't think.
Did you think it was a 5 mic album back then?
No.
I
thought it was really, really good, and I was glad.
And you're talking about the reissued version, right? Because remember that first version that had Jungle Party, that shit was not received well.
Oh,
so remember, so the first version was like cool. The second version that everybody has is way better for sure. Yeah. I think we could definitely find some more overrated albums for sure. But I get what you're saying, Joe. Like it was just the whole. Because to Alibi's point, you know, as Nas fans, I thought it was over for Duke. So when he came back with Stillmatic, I was like, oh, and he came back with a dope album. Like, word, okay. So,
and I'm talking like albums that are good. Like we talk about Get Rich or Die Trying. That album's clear. So you know what I mean? An album where is still good that we all just tend to overrate is what I mean. Yeah.
I just want to interrupt the podcast because I checked Facebook and my new stepbrother Jeff is in the shout out Jeff.
Oh, Jeff's in the building. Jeff is here
Word
to
up.
talk with his homeboy.
Shout
Survival.
out to Jeff and all the above podcasts over
there. Hey, Jeff.
Thing.
Yeah, you're doing your thing.
Is Jeff gonna want to fight me over my score?
Yes.
Fight for me too.
So Jeff, just to let you. No. I'm snitching. Because I mean, Jeff, just to let you know, Alicia didn't get us a classic, and your stepbrother Survival also didn't get us a classic. So now I'm just saying, snitching.
Jeff's never fighting a woman. Like,
no.
I think he'd respect your 21. I mean, I respect the 21. I don't think everyone has to see this.
I'm just talking
as
shit.
Classic. I think if you were to give this shit like a 16, I'd be like, all right, we got to fight.
It's
like,
it's very close. It's very close.
Speaking of beef, Kiki said Joel is banned for your Nas and Ether tape. She said you're banned and you're irking her.
Because the Ether? That song fucking, yo, I love Nas. Ether fucking sucks, dog. Ether sucks. That
no,
beat
it doesn't.
is one of the worst beats I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. So let's just not
You
even
don't mean
fuck.
that.
No.
You don't
Not
mean that.
no, because not
That's
don't mean
exaggeration.
He's not even rapping on beat. He's just yelling. He's just angry. He's just literally at a therapist's office going, "Fucking typo ho!" Like it's not even that. There's nothing musical
That's what
about it.
makes it great. That's what makes it
Typo
great.
ho.
He said
It's
you
overrated.
36 in a karate class.
It's like your face older,
Typo
puss.
ho.
Like it's like he's just yelling at the wall,
Did it-
bro. Let's
did it-
not
did it
chill
end?
out.
With the
I
ad-lib
love-
came in,
I love that
Giles.
Ether's great. The
Yo.
beat's terrible. You heard every word though.
Yo, I love
That's
what,
what the beat did do was you let you hear every word.
The thing about when black women get mad, y'all get mad on rhythm. When black men get mad, we go off rhythm. So like black women will read you with the hymn. When you can tell he gets really upset. He goes, "Queens nigga, run you niggas, that's social sentence," and then he just leaves. Fuck this nigga. You want to eat
Facts.
on?
Facts though. Russell Simmons was running Def Jam. Facts.
It's all true.
Oh man, she said log off, Joe. I
He
love
said
it.
you no mustache having. He didn't even
Yo,
finish
he
it.
literally in the middle of the song.
No mustache having. With whiskers like a rat
Compared to beans, whack.
Yeah. Yeah, I like.
Oh,
I love
man,
Ether. I love Ether.
I love it, chat. Get him. Kiki's not here
Yeah.
for it. Wiley's
He
not
goes-
here for it.
He
They're
goes,
saying,
dog.
get Joel out of here. Get Joel out of here.
Mid bar, he goes, "Negro, please."
Exactly.
Yo, he was mad on that shit.
He was really
He was
upset.
pissed.
He was
He was
mad as
very
hell.
upset.
Oh man.
Got a new video dropping with him though.
Oh,
Yo,
man,
J-Lo.
yo, I don't watch any of those.
I don't.
What's up,
I don't
Alicia?
know.
What's up, Alicia?
It's out right now. That video is out.
Yo,
That's
I
it,
love
man.
black people coming together, but Jay and Nas coming together and the way they came together is one of the wackest things that happened.
And on a Jay-Z beat. I'm not doing that. if
Yeah,
I'm
no,
honest.
I
Like,
just, I need them. I don't need them to be like. I just hated the fact that Nas went to work there, and little petty shit. I just feel like we'll find out more when we get older. I just feel like Jay-Z always just didn't like the fact that people like Nas, like the whole. I just don't think he liked the.
He didn't
adulation
like the
got.
fact that people liked anyone.
Yeah, I just, but specifically Nas, there's something weird. He still releases shit when Nas releases shit. Weird, weird.
Yeah, anybody else check in who's heard of that new DJ Khaled album? So you got the Jay and Nas joint in there. I think Cardi's got something on there. It's a lot.
I haven't even heard it.
Me and the wife, we listened to a few snippets earlier. I just can't remember who all. Like Lil Baby's on there, the Baby's on there, 21 Savage is on there. But I just can't remember who was on what. We were just flipping through.
It's one Baby and Meg and somebody else that I like.
Okay.
Cardi's situation is I really like Cardi's verse. And she said she got that and had to write her little verse in like 24, 48 hours to get it back. And she was like shocked she made the album, but her shit's hot. It's a lot of fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
What is his obsession with having Justin
Pandering.
on everything?
It's pandering.
Sells records.
The
That's
white-
it's pandering. It's
But
pandering
that's
to sales.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's why the industry's whack though.
Justin Bieber, like, someone's got to stab him in the back, like with an actual knife. Like
It's Ursher Bucks' fault. So.
I like a lot of Justin Bieber songs. I think he's talented, but that whole "One Lonely Less Nigger," someone has to stab that dude just once. Like
Right.
that, he has to eat something for that.
Well, he
That
got
was-
dreads now, so he definitely somebody got to run the fade.
He went wild on that one.
Right.
guy.
He on the back of that new song talking. What are you singing in the background with the ad lib talking about? That's my bad bitch or whatever he's saying. You don't need any of this from the Biebs.
He like singing, rapping. It's so terrible. Like a lot of this Khaled album.
Hey, man.
Just go ahead.
Y'all keep inviting people to the barbecue. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He's in his Hannah Montana phase. Remember how
Also-
she went like very
Go ahead,
hip-hop?
Survival. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just remember how she went like very, very hip hop and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
kinda
she had to
leverage it.
apologize.
Yeah.
She had to come out and say sorry because she was tripping. Yeah. Also, DJ Khaled, I don't know, dog. That dude was wilding when he first came out too. When he got into the cookout real easy, dog. DJ Khaled was out here saying hood nigga this. You got to eat. Talk about making grilled cheese off the radiator, nigga. You ain't never been to jail. Stop saying, nigga. What are you talking about? You lying out here, bro.
He went from when he was so hood.
Yes.
And now he's the Beijing king.
Oh yeah, definitely the Beijing King, bro.
It's Post Malone on that song with Meg Thee Stallion and the Baby, and I hate Post Malone. Like, didn't Post Malone say he wasn't fucking with rap and he was just using rap to get in, and now he's doing? So it's just shit like that I don't respect. Like the album, but I listen to it, just because I be walking and shit.
How many?
One of these is Justin Timberlake. Ew, he's got both the Justins on here.
Yo,
He's on there too.
Yo, be careful. Be careful, yo. Be careful. Be careful, yo.
About to say.
Be careful, yo. Be careful, yo.
Future Sex Love Sounds.
Yo, be careful, yo.
I had a lot of sex to that.
A-Quil knows what I'm about, yo. Be careful, yo. At least you gotta be careful, yo. Justin, yo, be careful, yo.
Wow.
Be careful,
Boston,
yo.
Boston,
We're defending. I hate it here.
Boston is wilding right now. Boston,
Yo, be
relax.
careful. Yo, I'm saying, be
Boston,
careful, yo. Relax,
Boston,
yo.
relax.
Be careful, yo.
East Coast, relax right now.
Boston loves a good white R&B rap.
Yo. You ain't like John B? You ain't like John B?
That's the only one. Didn't
You from Boston?
I didn't like the new kids.
Nah,
Are the new kids
is
from
he?
Boston?
Yeah, three of
New
the
kids are definitely from Boston.
Three of the new kids are from Boston, and one was the best one.
Oh,
Was
so
Joey? He's not from Boston.
So New Kids really had to fight New Edition. How you gonna bite their style and y'all all from Boston?
Well, they had the same manager though. Marty
Oh
Starr.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Marty Starr was,
okay.
Yeah.
That's
he had
what it was.
He had like 5 groups. And that was his thing. He was like trying to beat Jermaine Dupri. He just had like 5 groups. My cousin was in one, and he was like, "Yo, one of these is gonna blow up." 2 of them blew up, and he was robbing all of them. So he's like, "Fuck it."
No.
Wiley Sally, I don't know if JT redeeming himself after that Britney Spears doc.
They got a doc coming out right now about the whole
Tittygate.
Okay.
We know what happened. You ripped her nipple out. You showed it on purpose. It was part of the act. And then and your white ass under a rock and hid while this black woman got dragged. That's what happened. The end. Boop.
Meanwhile, I was zooming in on a titty like a motherfucker.
Back in 2005, I was like, how do I do this?
Yo, what's the whole thing about Justin Timberlake?
I might look that
Prince?
up right now. Hold on.
Like, I missed that whole thing. Did they have beef? What was that about?
They should have had
Justin, there was a thing between them. I missed it.
And who?
Prince knew who Justin Timberlake was? Or?
They
I don't
had
know
a thing.
Oh,
There's like lyrics they attribute to the song with Justin Timberlake. The song with Nelly Furtado and Timbaland, "Give It to Me," that song. They attribute those lyrics to being about Prince. And then another.
Let me look up these lyrics to see if JT got to run the fade.
Yeah.
Prince
all night.
Yeah. That's right, Alicia.
being angry. Let's be clear. Prince did not acknowledge the peasants.
Yeah. He
Big
came
facts.
Prince
Big
was
facts.
a fucking king.
Prince floated. We've gotten this confirmed by multiple sources. Prince floated.
I believe it.
That's why they should have never let that man perform halftime here in Minnesota. And do that weak Prince tribute they were trying to get.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they got mad. They got mad at
get
that.
that shit out of here, bro. I mean, the tribute overall was dope. They did the Prince symbol over the city. Like, that was cool. But I mean, I did not. He was trying to. What did he do when they had him singing? What's the song? What's that song?
Until the end of time.
And then they were trying to blend. They were trying to blend that into like Purple Rain or something like that. They put like Prince on the sheet. I was like, man, you gotta get this shit out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Oh man.
To Survival's point, Future Sex Love Sounds is one of the greatest albums of all time. I can play that shit.
It is a great album. It's great.
It's one of the greatest albums of all time by Justin Timberlake.
What's up?
Go ahead, Alicia.
We've already gone through this though.
That's just in the vacuum.
Simultaneously true. You can be a trash ass human and still make good ass music, but we won't go into who we use as the example.
No,
That's
very true.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. It wasn't coming for me, but you knew it was coming. Oh. So Survival said
I
he
missed
had some
that song.
numbers.
I'm not gonna lie.
Wait,
Survival said he had some numbers he wasn't discovering.
wait, do I?
You ain't got no numbers for y'all.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that on the.
It's like 7:30,
on
man.
the outline. Yeah, I don't have numbers.
Yeah. Nah, I
numbers next week.
Yeah, no, we can say the numbers for like the actual finale. Yeah, I just threw it in there just in case. I thought you said you wanted to mention something, but no, we don't. We can say it.
Nah.
Those Justin Timberlake lyrics are definitely about Britney Spears, man. That shit ain't Prince, man.
Yeah.
I don't have any numbers for the people.
Cool. Let's get out of here then.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, man. I've been eating this whole podcast and I'm still hungry. Alibi. Enough. 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 Fucking enough. Fucking enough.
I just shared it right in the chat. JT had to clear the air about beefing with Prince.
Clear the air.
You were just Jimmy, Justin, whatever his name is.
Jimmy Timberlake. I like it. But then shout out to Tribe. This album was classic. And this was 2 weeks in a row we had classic albums. I don't know when the last time that was. That might have been like around episode 7, 8 or something like that.
Maybe.
We'll have to look it up and see. But yeah, we had 2 classics in a row. And next week we got coming up Big Pun, Capital Punishment. You heard?
That's right.
Dead in the middle of Little Italy, little some middleman who didn't do diddly. Yes, sir. So let's drop it in chat real quick. Big Pun, Capital Punishment. Is it a classic or no? Y'all go listen to the album and then go listen to the podcast when it drops next Wednesday, and then join us here next Friday. So I'm gonna drop that real quick.
What was you gonna say, Alicia?
This is an example of a trash ass human. That really
Big Pun?
off. Yeah, you know, the nigga pistol whipped his wife on fucking camera.
Hey, yo. Okay. We don't know if she was set tripping. She could have. Who knows?
We don't know if
they hit him with the KRS face.
It was a little grainy.
The only thing I hated about that whole situation, one, that he did it, and two, he was big as fuck. I'm like, yo, why ain't y'all dip and dodge on that nigga, dog? He was sitting there just like fucking obese, and they were like, yo, literally, people would stand around him and just do whatever he told them. Like they did whatever he said. Yep. And he was like, yo, I can't move for myself. It had minions running around. I'm like, how y'all letting him beat his wife? That's wild, dog.
If that nigga was stuck on the couch, if I was her, I'll starve you. I'm petty as fuck. Nigga. You can't move. You can't do shit. I'll beat you and starve you. But whatever.
Listen,
I'm with it.
Fair enough.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lighter Note.
I'm with it, nigga. We starving niggas, dog. We starving niggas. 2021. You don't eat around us.
You can catch the podcast every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you can download pods except for Tidal. Join us here every Friday. Actually, I ain't gonna be here next Friday. I'm gonna hit that Magic Johnson look. I ain't gonna be here.
Yo, use that picture. Literally, use that picture. Because I'm not here either, dog. Let's just.
You're not here next Friday?
I'm in Arizona for 2
that's right.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Man, well, no, I want to use.
We gotta find.
We can find a good guest host for Ludacris.
Let's find a guest. It might be time for Rod.
Let's do an audience poll.
Yeah.
Where's Rod and Kenny, man? We gotta grab. Yeah,
let's hit him up.
I'm not bringing. Rod don't want to come on for this.
It's Atlanta though.
But we got a few posts we can hit up and see. Joe, I was excited to use my baby picture. I think you use Magic because we used your baby picture already.
Yeah,
matter of fact, hold on, my guy. This is the third live that you did miss, my guy. I didn't have to use a Steelers hat for you, a baby picture hat for you, and now we're gonna use Magic Johnson. Hey, yo, be careful, dog. Don't miss no more lives, dog.
I need to be careful. I need to be careful.
Almost done with the season.
I need to be careful around my wife. Is who I need to be careful around, nigga. So we
You're
lucky
right.
that.
You're right.
Lucky that I got this.
My bad. My bad, Sinead. I was just kidding, Sinead.
Sinead hit me with the "you do another live."
I ain't gonna be here.
I ain't gonna be here, nigga.
But we will be here in some capacity next Friday. So every Friday at 6 Eastern or Central Time, 7 Eastern Time, 4 o'clock if you're on the West Coast with Alicia. You dig? Join us on Facebook, Twitter at the Liner Note 79, or you can join us on our YouTube. Our subscribers are going up, baby. We're gonna be monetized. Not yet, but just hopeful.
One of these days.
Also, if you want to hit us on social media, Alibi be keeping it active on the Instagram. That's also Liner Note 79. We have our link tree where you can just hit up all that stuff. You can also hit us in our email, the Liner Notes Crew at gmail.com. You dig? So thank y'all again for joining us for another live episode of the Liner Notes. We covered Midnight Marauders, Tribe Called Quest. Coming back next week for Big Pun, for Survival, for Joel, for Alicia, for Alibi, A-Quil. We Black Excellence, y'all. See y'all next week. Well, except for me and Joe, because we ain't gonna be here.
Why did he do that?
Oh no.